guys, it's DSG and welcome to yet another DSG TV back at the couch here, and I'm actually going to be doing some live drawing today, which is slightly scary being a lefty and a male, but you know, I'm going to give my best shot. So this is a topic I'm very excited about. I want to talk about narrowing down your niche and why it's so important to do so, and why sometimes narrowing down your niche can be the difference between making, let's say, 6 figures online and not making 6 figures online. I'm going to explain it. It's all going to make sense here in a second. And why this is an important topic before I start drawing and messing with all this kind of stuff. This is why. I get a lot of emails from people saying, you know, I'm a marketing expert, or I'm a, fishing expert, or I want to do a fishing web show or a marketing web show, and they're too general. Does that make sense? Like, they don't want to niche down, and they're like, David, I don't want to niche all the way down to something really, really specific. I'm going to make it as a more general show or platform or expertise. I'm going to show you right now why it's more important to niche down and how it's going to go to 6 figures. So let's just use a pretend example, all right? Let's say someone says, and you put yourself in the shoes, and they say, you know what? I'm going to start with marketing. Okay, so they're going to start with marketing as being their, expertise or whatever they want to build a platform on. Now, we can all agree that marketing is a very general topic, right? So the first thing I would say to someone that said, I want to do a web show and build a business and build a brand online around marketing, I would say, okay, let's get more specific on the type of marketing first. Let's go down one more level. And they say, you know what, it's not really marketing. I'm an expert in, online advertising. Okay, great. So now we're going to go down a little bit, and we're now online advertising. Okay? So we've kind of niched down one level here. This is where most people stop. They say, great, I'm just going to create the online advertising, show. I'm going to create products around that, etc. You got to go one more. You got to go one more level down. And a great way to do that, and there's a lot of different ways you can go down one more level. Actually, profession is a great way to do it. Profession. So what we're going to do here, for the sake of argument, we're going to do online advertising for attorneys. Okay? So, online advertise. I'm just going to put ad because I don't feel like drawing out the whole thing. You understand what it is. For attorneys, don't worry if you can't read this. It'll all make sense in a second, okay? Might even misspelled something, but who cares? Not the point. Not the point. All right, so you got marketing, online advertising, and now you've got, online advertising for attorneys as the niche. So why is this easier to make 6 figures in? And by easier, I mean, kind of the better path. Well, let's think about products that are in the marketing space. Just marketing in general, books or things like that. They're very general, and the dollar value is going to be low, right? Because if you buy an ebook or a product or thing and it's just about marketing, that's not very specific. Does that make sense? That's not very specific. It's going to be pretty low. Now let's talk about online advertising. Well, you know what? People are going to pay a little bit more for that. So, but they're going to pay, let's say, double, possibly this one, because it's a little bit more specific. Let's say you're out there and you're like, oh, online advertising, that's the type of marketing I want to do. You might pay a little bit more. Now, online advertising for attorneys? You are in the money zone, my friends. You're going to make more money in this space because it's so specific. Now, let me show you an example. You might be thinking to yourself, and people say this all the time, but David, how many attorneys are there going to be that are interested in online, advertising? Well, let's just say there's, a ton of people that are interested in marketing, okay? But there's also a ton of competition, right? And let's say you get to online advertising, there's also a ton of people and a ton of competition. Once you get down here, less people, less competition, okay? Now let's pretend you come out with a program and it's the, online advertising, I don't know what it is. It's an online advertising course for attorneys, okay? That's what it is. You're going to teach them step by step how to get more clients using online advertising. You go through, AdWords and Facebook and all these different things. You're going to show them exactly how to do it. You could charge, $495 $995, heck, even on up from there when you're in that space. How many attorneys now does it take to make 6 figures? Okay, think about that math for a second. If you're showing, let's just use $1,000, just because I don't feel like doing any math today, is that if you do $1,000 and you have just 100 attorneys that are passionate about this and love your subject and love all that kind of stuff, you can make 6 figures from that. All right, it's a lot harder to make it from a lot of other different spaces. All right, so I want you guys to keep this in mind, because I can't tell you how many times I get someone that comes to me and says, you know, David, I want to do a show or something like this, and I'll narrow it down later, or I'll figure it out later. I want to start with something general. I want to start on the subject of success. I want to start on the subject of food. You got to narrow it down sooner than later if you're going to have success, because when you narrow it down and you find the right demographic that can actually afford what you're selling, and you get right in there, it doesn't take a huge amount of people to make that 6 figures. And so I want you guys to get this out of your head. If you're doing a video blog or you're doing a show and you hear these big numbers like 100,000 fans, 10,000 fans, 5,000 fans, it might just take a couple hundred fans for you to make that 6-figure business. So I just want you to keep that in mind. And as we wrap up today, I just want to give a quick shout out, something that we've kind of come up with that a lot of you don't know about. If you're a mediapreneur, so you're an expert, personal brand, author, coach, whatever, and you're looking to dominate online, and you want to do a web show, video blog, something like that, either an interview show or not an interview show or whatever type of show you want to do, you either want to do one or you have one and you're trying to figure out everything, building the audience, how do you monetize it, all those kinds of different things. I would highly, highly, highly recommend you check out the Host at the Top, which is my new coaching program. I'm not going to go into it big time here, but I can tell you, based on some incredible feedback we've gotten from a lot of people that were interested in this program, we've been working kind of behind the scenes on this for months. We've got the program now down to a monthly, very affordable program for people, because I didn't want to get out there and charge $1 zillion for this. So I want you guys to check out, a link's going to be coming up here, the Host at the Top. So if you are a mediapreneur that has a web show or wants to do one, video blog, etc. It could be 5-minute shows, it could be 25-minute shows, it could be 1-hour shows, and you want coaching from me, and you want to have accountability and take your game to the next level, check out thehosttattop.com. That link is coming up. Thanks to our good friends at Lead Player that can allow me to do all kinds of cool stuff in the video like this link. I will see you next time.